Hey YouTube, it's Luke here. Today I want to do a review with you on one of my favorite products, and this is the Work Sharp Knife Sharpener. This thing is great. I'm big into knives. I've got a lot of knives. My wife cooks, so she's got a lot of knives. We always need to find a way to sharpen those knives, and I was doing them by hand for a very long time. You can buy those cheap sharpeners, but they don't work very well, or they take chunks out of the blade, So for Christmas 2 years ago, I got this Work Sharp. Alright, and I was at first kind of hesitant because I thought, well, it's like a belt sander, and I don't know if I want that on my knife blades because I like them to be like razors. So I figured I'd give it a chance after reading a little more about it, and this thing is awesome, right? So first of all, it takes all the work out of sharpening a knife because it's got a built-in motor, and it's got a belt drive system with an abrasive belt on it that sharpens the knife for you. So really cool. The switch on this, it's got a momentary. When you let go of it, it shuts off. And as stationary, when you lock it on, it'll continue to run. Alright? And it'll keep on going. So, really great unit. It must have a big motor in it because it's really heavy. I don't know if it's got steel gears or what, but it's built really well. I haven't had any problems with it yet. It's useful for a lot of things. So mine came with two different guards. Okay, I have this kitchen, I should say guide, not guard, kitchen guide, and I have one for like pocket knives or recreational knives, axes, things like that. This will also sharpen scissors. So if you have a pair of scissors, it's got a special magnetic thing on the side for scissors. Pretty neat design, right? So basically, let me show you how this works. So right here in the front, okay, we have, there's a spring tensioner with a roller, okay? And in order to change these belts, this belt rotates around this thing, okay? And in order to change this, you push down on the spring tensioner and turn it, and it locks it down. And then all this is, this belt slides right out of here, okay? So it's in a triangle shape. There are two wheels down below. One is the drive wheel, and then you have this bearing roller up at the top, okay? So there are many different abrasive textures or grits, okay? So I have belts that are 220 grit, 800 grit, and 3000. So that's able to take a really dull edge, get it pretty sharp, then I take it down to the 800 grit, and that sharpens it really finely, and then I take it down to 3000, and that hones it right out to like a razor. So I really love this. They also make a green belt, which is very abrasive. I don't know if it's like 120 grit or something like that, but it's great for sharpening axes or garden tools, things like that. And you're probably wondering, how would you sharpen an axe on this little tiny thing or a garden tool? I'll show you. So to slide this belt in, all you do is there's a groove down here at the bottom, okay? Slide it into both of these bottom wheels right here, and you leave it right on the top. You turn this top roller, and it locks it into position, okay? So you don't have to have a guard on this to run it, okay? But on the front, there is a little spring clip, and if you push it, this whole unit actually rotates, and you lock it in. Okay, so now what you have is you have something that you can hold by hand, almost like a grinder, and you can run it across the blade of an axe or something like that. So very versatile. And then you just push the spring clip again and flip this back up into the knife sharpening position if I get it there. There it is. Okay, so I'll kind of show you how this works up close. I'll put my Pocketknife Guard on here, and I'll sharpen my pocket knife because it's a little bit dull. Okay, so in order to put this guard on, basically you turn this around, and you can see there are two nuts right here on the top and bottom. This guard slides over the back side like this, and there's a guide, you can see it there, it slides right down over those two nuts. Okay, so put this on tight, make sure it's tight. Yeah, the belt will be exposed here at the top, but you don't really have to worry about that, just keep your fingers out of it. Okay, and then basically you would take your knife. Okay, I've got a case here. Open it up. Alright, and what you're going to do is you're going to turn it on, and you're going to work your blade through the top left, the top right, and back and forth as this thing is running. Okay, so my knife is pretty sharp, so I'm not going to use this as a really coarse 220 grit. So I'm going to take that off, and I'm actually just going to put the honing belt on for now. So let me show you up close how to put a belt on. Basically, you take it, put it in this groove right here on the bottom, all the way around, make sure it seats in correctly. Kind of see how that's going in there. Okay. And it goes up around that roller, twist and tighten that roller on the top. Then I give it a quick jog, and that just lines up the belt and makes sure it's not going to fall off. So what you can see is it's starting to come out of the guide here, so I need to make sure that's stuck in a little bit further. Okay. There we go. Now it's staying in there. Works great, right? So let me show you how I do this, all right? Okay, some things to note. It's very important that you keep this blade flat against the side of this guard on both sides, okay? If you start tilting it or angling it, you're going to get a weird sharpen on it, okay? So this is going to take some getting used to. It's not like you can just pick one of these up and run a knife through it and expect to get a razor sharp knife. If you really want to get good at this, you have to think about physics. You have to use your mind, and you have to make sure that you're doing the technique correctly, keeping the blade flat up against there, and consequently a good consistent travel speed. So I do like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And for me, that keeps it consistent on both sides of the blade. So then I don't get it over sharpened on one side and under sharpened on the other. Okay? So just takes a little practice, a little getting used to. But back to the product itself, thing is amazing. Okay, again, build quality is great. I really love it. I use it to sharpen many knives. Had it for a couple years. It runs good. I bought an extra pack of belts for it, a replacement pack, and you know, they last a pretty long time. You can get, you know, maybe 30 knife sharpenings out of a single belt. They're pretty inexpensive to replace. I think you get maybe an 8-pack for $10 or $11, either at your sports store or on Amazon. So yeah, if you're thinking about getting one of these, I'd highly recommend it, but don't get frustrated if you use it the first time and your knife is dull afterwards, okay? Because it's you, and you need to perfect your technique with it. Alright, so it's just a matter of working with it and getting your knife as sharp as you can. So thanks for watching my review. If you haven't, please subscribe to my channel. I hope that you guys have a great day, and thanks again for watching.